Hello and welcome to the Daily Vetter AMA. We hold these discussions Monday through Saturday, same time right here. And we just jump into the Vetter calendar. We look at some projects. We talk about various things that are going on in the Vetter community. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the live discussion. Now, if you have questions, we actually have a Q&A portion, which is the last 30 minutes of today's call. So when you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand and you'll be the first in the queue to get your questions answered. So again, welcome. No matter where you are in your crypto journey, you're in the right place at the right time with the Vetter community. Now, if you're a veteran or you're brand new, today we're going to go over how to use the best research tool, which is a Vetter platform, to find the next 2x, 5x, 10x, and beyond. Now, before we jump into that, I do want to share with you a couple of announcements. Today, we actually had an AMA with the marketing agency who is doing the marketing ramp up for Vetter. And I tell you what, it was a really, really exciting call. For me personally, what I enjoyed was hearing a couple of the team members just share, and the vibe that I got from them, it was truly authentic. They were genuinely excited to be working with Vetter and working with our community, which means you. Like, if you're a part of this community, that means you. They are excited to work with you, excited to work with us. And it was really cool to hear that authenticity in their voice. It wasn't hype. It wasn't smoke. It was literally like they were excited. Robin even said it almost sounded like one of the guys was giddy to be able to work with us, and because they realize what we have, they realize what you have at your fingertips, which is the Vetter platform and this community. Because that's what the biggest thing that I want to always talk about on these calls is the fact that we are a community that collaborates together, and when one wins, we all win. And that's what makes this so special. So some of the things I jotted down, a couple notes that I wanted to share about the AMA. They have a contact base of over 7,000 high-level global influencers. So we have, our information is going to be shared and spread amongst that. They also are working with Boy George, and he's launching an NFT community, and our marketing team is actually working with them. Okay, so like just the caliber of what's going on. They've also worked with projects that have done billion-dollar market caps. Okay, so this is a big deal for our community and a big deal for you as a Vetter holder. And the best thing about it was they're not just here for a one and done kind of situation. Okay, they are here to be a part of the process. And for those of you who caught the AMA, one of the things that I really liked about what he said, he's like, we're not just here to just do something once. Like, we are deeply involved in this process. Like, they want to be a part of this experience and what's going on, because they recognize the power of this tool and what's going on. So one of the things that they announced, and I'll pull up the Telegram here, a little bit of a rebranding. And so let me share my screen, and you can see what I'm talking about here. Yeah, so here's a new logo. That's a couple ideas went back and forth, and the team settled on this, and it was pretty cool to hear the reasoning behind this. When you first see this logo, it just seems like like a V for Vetter, and it is, but there's a lot more to it. And the notes that I took down were, it's a green check mark. Okay, so it's like the Vetter check of approval. Like, this project has been vetted, so it's a green check mark. But also, you got the V, obviously, but you have an upside down A, and then you have the visible I. And so, Vetter AI. and it's the check of approval. And we are creating the gold standard for projects that want to launch and have a successful launch. If they work with the vendor community, it just allows them to stack probabilities in their favor. So just like what we talked about on Monday, whenever we're looking at pre-launches, whenever we're looking at projects to invest in, the whole idea of Vedder is stacking probabilities. Okay, there's no guarantee that a successful company is going to launch a project and just because they've done it before, it's going to be great again. There's no guarantees. It's all about stacking probabilities. And the more probabilities we stack, the greater the likelihood that a project is going to succeed. And one of the great things about what we're creating, yes, as an investor, you and I, we can use this research tool, stack probabilities, which give us the greatest odds, the greatest chance of finding the next 2x, 5x, 10x, and beyond. But here's the kicker. The ecosystem and community that we are creating with 9, 10,000 members strong, people doing collaborative efforts in the community, Mike's experience, Robin's experience, Jeremy's experience, the Vedder's knowledge and experience. Each of us brings something to this environment and community. Here's the kicker. Not only are we a resource for other crypto enthusiasts who are looking to get that 2x, 5x, 10x, and beyond, we're also a resource for developers and project teams who are looking for what we have, for the experience that we have, the experience of running businesses, the experiences of running successful teams, experiences of launching successful projects, experiences of great marketing. Because now projects that have a great idea, great utility, but let's say that they're out there and they've created something fantastic, but what they struggle with is, well, how do we do marketing? How do we find people who want to buy into our project? How do we actually treat this project like a business? And so Vedder is even bigger than just helping people find the 2x, 10x or more. It is literally the platform and ecosystem that could support a project in becoming the next 2x, 5x, 10x and beyond. And when you realize the power of what we have here, man, I talk to people every day and just the conversation something always comes up about, man, it's kind of hard to sleep at night because there's so much good stuff going on. There's so much stuff that's been going on for the last handful of months. And now finally, we're starting to see the fruits of our labor. Okay. And that's it's exciting. It is absolutely exciting. And I wanted to, before we jump into the calendar, I actually wanted to bring up just my thoughts on a particular project. Okay. And what I mean by that is the comment I said just a minute ago about how Vedder is a research tool for the investors, but pretty soon it's also going to be a launch pad, i.e. with VPad, but a resource for developers and teams to fill in the gaps of what their strengths aren't. Okay. And what I mean by this is, and this is strictly my opinion, what I've seen and witnessed with this project. I just want to go just a timeline over the last handful of days with this project. And by no means am I knocking this project. I just want to share as an investor what I saw and the red flags that came up for me with this project. So Wealth Protocol is a project that we were looking at earlier this week, and it was looking really, really good. I was excited to invest in it. I was excited to see what it could do. I know a lot of community members were excited as well. And so when we got we had the opportunity to get into the pre-sale, and it started off, they were looking at filling 250 soft cap and 500 BNB hard cap. Okay. And things were going pretty good. It started off as a whitelist, and I think within the first couple hours, they filled like 160, maybe 180 BNB. It was off to a pretty good start. They opened up to the pre-sale, and the pre-sale started filling up. And then out of nowhere, they sent an announcement out saying, hey, there was an issue with our contract, and we get to do something different. And they ended up creating a different pre-sale through DXL. Okay, so a totally different one. And I can understand that mistakes happen, and it is what it is. We're all humans, and mistakes are going to happen. So that's not the issue. But what I saw when that happened was the excitement was gone. The excitement was gone from the community. The excitement was gone from our community. And I think it kind of shook some investors. There was also some high tax there at the first 30 minutes to an hour, but they kept changing it. They kept changing the numbers. And again, this is not, I'm bringing this up simply as a means of what to look for as you're getting into these projects. Okay. So for example, for me, this project ranked pretty high. It ranked as a low risk project. Looks like it's going to be a good one. Let's go ahead and do it. And then as things started to develop in the last 24 to 48 hours, it became a project that was just way too risky for me. Just wasn't going to do it. Okay. So when the new pre-sale came out, they had changed the soft cap to 150 and they changed the hard cap to 300. Okay. So originally started off at 250 and 500, and then they changed it for 150 and 300. That lasted for 24 hours. And at the 24-hour mark, they had raised 175 BNB in 24 hours. So keep in mind, the first pre-sale listing on DXL, they had raised about 180 in a handful of hours. 24 hours for the second pre-sale, and they only raised 175. That to me was a warning sign. Okay, I was excited about this project. I was excited to get in it. I had a whitelist spot. All right, let's rock and roll. The community was excited. But as I'm collaborating with other members of the community, we're all saying, wait a second, something's not making sense. Something doesn't make sense. Because here's a community with 4,800 Telegram members. Okay, 4,800 Telegram members, but they had only raised 175 BNB in 24 hours. And my question is real simple. If you have a Telegram group of 4,800 members, you have a pre-sale that's open to the public, and you only raise 175 BNB in 24 hours, when the project launches, do you think there's going to be more buying pressure or more selling pressure? And you can go ahead and type it in the chat if you want to take a guess at what you think. Okay, so the pre-sale was not full on the hard cap. They have a community of 4,800 members, and it took 24 hours to raise 175 BNB. Do you think at launch they're going to have more buying pressure or more selling pressure? Okay, so Maurice says selling pressure. Hamad says selling pressure. Absolutely. Aaron says selling pressure, 100%. Because in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, people can get it. Cherie, hey, Cherie, welcome. In my brain, it's like, okay, people can get into this pre-sale. It's open to the public, and they're not doing it. So why would someone choose to buy at launch? And I'm not saying that when they launch, they're not going to do well. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just simply saying, if we want to stack probabilities, if a pre-sale sold out in 5 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour, that indicates to me that people want in. But if it takes 24 hours and they don't fill it, oh man, that makes me kind of nervous. Okay, so we go back to the Telegram group, 4,800 members. It took 24 hours to fill 175 BNB. And I just want to read you some of the pinned posts, okay? So all of a sudden, I felt, and I like these guys. I listened to the AMAs, I was on voice chat, and I really enjoyed what they were sharing and what they were talking about, okay? And so let me find, there was they started promoting, within the last couple of hours and a little bit last night about, oh, here we go, right here. So I kind of got the idea that they were starting to recognize as well that maybe they don't have the community support like they thought. They don't have the buying pressure that they thought they did. Okay, so what they decided to do was they said they're going to give you an additional 2.5% to all the people who hold for 24 hours. Okay, so If you bought in the pre-sale, they're going to give you 2.5% more tokens if you hold for 24 hours. And they also threw in, and again, I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying, if you believe that there's selling pressure, there's going to be more selling pressure at launch. To me, what they're saying is an indication that they believe the same thing, okay? They said, we have a little surprise along with an announcement for you all. Our Wealthy Apes NFTs are almost ready for launch. And a little hint, we haven't told anyone about it yet. This will expand the ecosystem. We're announcing a contest for all holders. This will be inclusive of all private and pre-sale holders. If you don't sell for 2 weeks, beginning February 23rd to March 8th, you'll receive one of our Binance Smart Chain Wealthy Apes NFTs. We're currently working with developers to include utility into our NFTs. Okay, that to me that would be a really cool thing if that was part of like the pre-sale originally or part of the private sale originally. But the fact that they're at the last minute, they're trying to gather perks, they're trying to create an irresistible offer, to me was a red flag at, I don't know if there's going to be enough selling pressure. I'm sorry, buying pressure. I feel like there's going to be way too much selling pressure at launch, which all the private sell and all the pre-sale people are probably going to dump. There's no reason to hold right now. And so that was another reason that made me say, hey, I don't know, let's pump the brakes here. Let's see what's going on. So they were supposed to launch this afternoon. And unfortunately, here's what the chart looks like. So someone went in and added liquidity, okay? And so the last update Wealth Protocol has shared is someone added liquidity to our contract before we're able to finalize the sell. We'll have to cancel our pre-sell, get a new contract done, and redo everything again. We sincerely apologize for this. Please go ahead and withdraw funds from the pre-sale. Okay. The reason I wanted to bring this up, not as a means of this is a bad project, more along the lines of when we're in the heat of the moment, trying to get into the pre-sale, trying to get into a launch, you know, our brains are focused on certain information. It's going to filter other things out. And this is a good example of awareness. Like there's writing on the wall that, hey, I don't know if this is going to be a good project or not. You know, and we get to check our emotions. We get to check the FOMO, like, well, what if it is a good project? Well, I don't know. What if it's not? We get to check our emotions and say, hey, you know what? Let's not FOMO in because we don't want to feel like we're going to, miss out. FOMO means, fear of missing out. And more so, this is really about sticking to our money management, sticking to your risk tolerance and realizing like, hey, the way the project looks today is different for me than it looked 2 days ago. And being okay with walking away. If it no longer fits into your risk tolerance and your money management style, it's okay to walk away. The reality of the situation is, if you don't make any money today, you actually did better than the majority of the crypto market who lost money today. Let that sink in. I mean, yeah, there's this pressure to always be making money and we got to flip these accounts and we got to double our BNB. But like real talk is, if you didn't get in this and you saved money and your account stayed the same, you did better than a lot of people out there today. Okay, so don't ever worry. There's always another. I'll show you the calendar for proof. There's always another launch. Okay, we're not starving for launches in the vendor community. We have a plethora of quality projects that can be invested in. There's no reason to FOMO in and ape into a project that just doesn't seem right. Okay, so I just wanted to go through that process and share that with you. And something that Mike had shared the other day as well was, the way he started investing. He's really conservative, which, is kind of funny to think about, being conservative in the crypto space, because, when you start making 2x and 3x and 5x gains, it just changes the perspective. I mean, when you look at some of these numbers and you have, 1 trillion tokens and, in your wallet, you're holding 100 million, it just changes the way our mind thinks about numbers. So think about this, okay? One of the things Mike said was when he first started out, he had his nest egg. He had his equity ball, okay? The money he was going to invest in. And when he started off, he was really conservative in his projects. He may take a 2x and he'd pull it all out. Because now, so he put 5x in and he pulls out 10x. Now he's got an extra 5x to play with. It's no longer his money. It's his money, but it's house money. Okay, that's crypto money that came in from profits. So he's no longer risking his own hard-earned money, okay? And the game for him was, how can he reinvest all the house money before he goes back and pulls from the original nest egg? And he said it was harder, it was actually challenging to actually go back to that nest egg because the other stuff started growing so quickly. And so having heard him say that this week, my strategy for getting into Wealth Protocol was going to be the same way. It's like, okay, let me do this. Mike, if you're not aware, he drops breadcrumbs all the time. I feel like I'm constantly taking notes and jotting things down and making sure that that I'm on the up and I'm listening to what he's saying, because like he just drops these gold nuggets on a consistent basis. But so my plan with this was I was going to put a bigger amount into Wealth Protocol, and I was going to do the same thing. I was going to take the profits and then I was going to reinvest in other projects, just like what Mike was talking about, and have a real conservative mindset with it. But then whenever it changed to this, it became more risky. It was like, well, I'm not going to risk it. It's too risky for my nest egg. And so, just that little gold nugget that Mike dropped had a big impact on being conservative. And to think, it's kind of funny to say 2x and being conservative in the same sentence. Let's be real, guys. like 2x, where else can you 2x in just a couple hours? It's so strange to say being conservative and 2x in the same sentence. And that's what I mean by crypto can just warp your mind and perspective. So having said that, I mentioned a little bit ago, let's say that you decided not to get in Wealth Protocol, and because you stick to your money management, you stick to your plan, you're like, hey, you know what, it doesn't work anymore, it's too risky for me, I'm out. And I said, if you did that, you'd be better off than some of the other people who got in projects. And this is a project I was looking into this morning, and I really like the team on this. I really like the website. This is Refer Eno. And I really liked everything about this project. I was just going to watch it because of the time frame. And they were on voice chat. I really enjoyed what he was saying and everything like that. And, when it launched, it tanked. And it is what it is. We're going to win some, we're going to lose some. And this is not pointing out whether this project was successful or not, just more so to back up the claim. If something doesn't feel right, if something feels off, there's no reason to FOMO in, because there's always going to be another project. Okay, there's always going to be another project. So having said that, I'm gonna get off my soapbox for a little bit. We got 7 minutes before the Q&A. So what I thought we could do today is let's take out ideas from the community. So I'm gonna ask for participant support. And so just in the chat, let's filter these things and let's find projects to take a look at. Okay. So first person who tells me what network to look at, that's the one we're looking at. So if you want to look at a Binance project, Ethereum project, Solana, whichever, go ahead and type it in the chat and we'll look at that. And then also the next person, what kind of BSC? All right, Robert, you're on it. BSC, okay. And then what type of category? We want to do do we want to do utility, meme, rewards, gaming? What type of project do we want to look at today? Utility. Cherie said utility, so let's look at utility. All right. Now, do we want to look at all projects or do we want to go purple only? Let's see who's got the fast fingers. Purple, Robert with the purple. All right, Robert. Okay, so we're going to look at Binance only. We're looking for utility tokens and purple only. Okay, so we can look at, oh, that's already passed. So let's look at this. Okay, Web3 Launchpad. Okay, this looks like a launchpad. It's gonna be launching on Pink Cell. Okay, not a lot of information on the Scout post, so let's just look at what we can find on the website. Okay, and I'm just gonna walk through some of the thoughts that I have as I pull something up, and the process that I go through. Like I said the other day, I really like looking at games because it's easy for me to see what's going on. But you guys are driving the bus today. Okay, so here is the website. It was kind of slow to load. It looks relatively simple. It's IDO Launchpad, tradable NFT marketplace on multi-chain wallet. Okay. Oh, the website is really slow, or it's my machine. One of the two. Either or is not a good recipe. Okay. Web3 launchpads are often referred as IDO platforms. Platforms for launching new coins. There's actually error, or a grammatical error. Often referred to as IDO platforms. Oh, here we go. Web3 launchpads are platforms for launching new crypto coins, crypto projects, raising liquidity. Well, that's kind of hard to read there. It keeps changing. IDO platform is crowdfunding for any new project launched on a decentralized exchange platform using coins or tokens. Okay. Not much going on here. Pretty basic. Check out their Telegram. Okay, so it looks like they've been doing some AMAs. We see Perks calls. We see Hunting Moon. We see that these people are coming from different groups. It looks like, so they've been doing some AMAs, or someone's been chilling. Okay, so the pre-sale date is February 24th. And let's see if we can, on the Scott's post, it did say there was going to be on Pink Cell. So let's see if we can find it on Pink Cell. Okay. We'll cancel. Let me close this here. All right, so the pre-sale starts tomorrow. Looks like that they are wanting to raise 200 BNB. So it's not a really big soft cap of 100, hard cap of 2. So it's not a really big project. I mean, that's only like $37,000 to $70,000 that they're trying to raise. So that's not a lot of money. I don't have experience with launch pads, but it seems like they may need a little bit more money than that. But on their website, they're not really telling me much. Or here, let's go to About Us. We can find information about the team. Okay. Okay. So here's the tokenomics. What I want to. Okay. So just William. That's it. Okay. Okay. So it looks like for their team, I would not say that this is doxed. A link to their Telegram doesn't. Oh, I thought it might do that. I thought it might do that. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really picky about website links. I really like it when they open up in a new tab. But yeah, so I guess they may think that sending them a direct message in Telegram is a way to connect. I've never necessarily seen that, but I suppose it's a thing. But having said that, they can still kind of hide behind their avatar and their person. So like, I would not consider this docs. What I would want to see is I'd want to see a social link, like to Twitter or to Instagram or to LinkedIn, that actually shows that they're a real person with real content that they use, not just a Telegram link that they could have created a profile for. So I don't know. I mean, I do like the idea that you could send, you could send a developer or the CEO or the CTO a direct message in Telegram. But again, I'd like to see more than that. So one of the things that that I also do is I try to, let's close this. Oh, I need to go back to their Telegram here. I like to search AMAs because I want to hear like a voice AMA. I want to see a video AMA. I really don't like the chat text AMAs. I feel like that's kind of like lazy, and I feel it's really inefficient to actually hear what the project is about. It's almost like a controlled environment where the person doing the AMA can throw softball questions and or pre-scripted questions, and it's almost more like a blog post than an AMA. So what I would also do is I would search, so Web3 Launchpad. I would go to YouTube and I would search Web3 Launchpad on YouTube and see if anything comes up. And I mean, those are Web3 Launchpad is really generic term. I don't know if that's intentional or if that's accidental. That's what I would do if I'm looking to find more information. So right off the bat, I felt like the website didn't have a lot of information. I'd like to know who the development team is. Now, like I said, they are doing AMAs, which is good because they're doing some type of marketing because people are joining their Telegram group. They're doing some type of marketing. Yeah, so I mean, literally all the messages that are coming in are from these other groups, these call groups and things like that. So right now we're halfway through the call, so we can do some Q&A. We can jump back into this if no one has any questions. And I also see Aaron that we can look at. Let's see. Let me get caught up on the chat here. Okay, yeah, Jermaine says they did have the KYC on Pink Cell. Let's take a look at that. Yes, so they do have the KYC and audit through with Pink Cell, and so that's something that so imagine we have like a scale, okay, a scale. So on one side we have pros, on the other side we have cons, okay, and so like this is going to be a personal experience. So what you think is important based on what you want, how you want to look at a project, what you want to invest in, okay, but like KYC and audit on the Pink Cell, that would be like on the good side. Them being, I don't feel like they're doxxed personally, that'd be on the negative side because I want to know who these people are. One of the things that Micah shared, like I said, he drops breadcrumbs, drops gold nuggets. He said, find a team that has successfully launched and or innovated, created something. And like that right away yields massive credibility because they've done something once. They've done something that a lot of people haven't been able to do. Okay, like Wealth Protocol, those guys I think are great. I think that for whatever reason, what happened with the project, it's absolutely horrible and sad. But like hopefully they learn from that and they either fill in the gaps or they develop different skills and they're able to come back and start again. And it's those types of people who will make it in this space, okay? Because like there's so much, and Mike has said this before as well, there's so many things that can go wrong in these projects. And more often than not, something is going to go wrong. More often than not, something is going to go wrong. And it's not about having that stellar launch where everything is smooth and everything goes right, because like Mike says, those are most likely scams. But it's when something doesn't go to plan, it doesn't go like they thought it would go. How does a team rally behind that and figure it out and figure out a way to keep going and move forward? I mean, just like us and just like you in your own life. You know, it's fine when life is going fantastic and everything's working out, that it's easy to say you got to figure it out. But like when life slips, slaps you in the face and you're down, and that's when you get to figure out, okay, what am I really going to do here? And the same thing is with these teams. Okay. So going back to that, I like to see that. That's why I want to see like who is the actual team, like what have they actually done, what have they actually created, because like if they've not done this before, maybe they haven't had the blessing of failure yet. Maybe they haven't experienced that frustration in dealing with investors that are frustrated and then actually working through that and turning it around. So I like to see what the teams have actually been up to. So just right off the top of my head, I get to do a lot more research on this project. I found that the website is really kind of limited. I didn't see any link to a white paper, nowhere. And let me search in Telegram real quick for a white paper. Okay, so no white paper, which I think is kind of weird. So right now, it's just neutral for me. I don't say I like it. I don't say I don't like it. I haven't done enough digging to find out. But as Jermaine said, the fact that KYC and audit is showing up on Pinkcell, that's a good thing. On the flip side, though, is how much work do I get to do to figure out if I want to invest in this? Like, if I'm a project developer, I want to make sure everything's lined up easily so people can understand what the project is, what it's about, and make it crystal clear to invest in it. Because like, if you think about it in marketing, confused buyers don't buy. And if I get to search Telegram, Twitter, their website all over, and I still can't find certain details about the project, that just makes me a little concerned. Like, okay, well, like I'm confused. Like, why is this like this, or why is it not like that? So that's just my take on this project. So Aaron wanted to look at retrogression launching on March 8th. Okay, we'll take a look at that. If you have any questions, go ahead and raise your hand or drop the question in the chat. I have both of those up, and I'll be able to see that. So as I'm pulling up this next project, feel free to ask a question. All right, retrogression. Okay, private sell is today, it looks like, and launches on the 8th. Okay, comments from the scout. Never seen one quite like this.
That was my project, by the way. I scouted it.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you want to share some thoughts?
I was just interested. It's been a while since since I've done some scouting, and I've got some time. I'm getting back into it. So I was kind of looking for some pointers and just, having somebody else look at it with fresh eyes, look at their website, look at their TG and stuff.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
This dev also offered us some whitelist spots in our group. I told him that I was vetting the project, and he was like, "Oh, cool. Let me know if you guys want some whitelist spots." So anyway.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks, Aaron, for sharing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can go through this together and bounce some ideas off of each other. What was the biggest thing that you liked about this project?
It's really different. It has to do with the concept. It's around a series of sci-fi movies that apparently they're going to come out with. So kind of something totally different than I'd seen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, let's take a look.
Guy was immediately responsive in the Telegram, answered everything, I told him I'd private message him, and he got back to me right away, DM'd and everything. So anyway.
That's great. So you got to talk to a main developer, or
I'm not sure who he was in the group. He was one of the admins in the group. So
sure, but they were responsive. That's always a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hollywood blockbuster sci-fi film franchise, PD games and token launch. Okay. Okay. So are they creating governed by Chad? That's funny. Are they creating a movie? Like
Yeah,
their
yeah.
own?
It's from what I understand, it's going to be 3 different movies. It's a
Okay,
series of movies.
nice. And I guess they're going to be streaming other content. I saw streaming up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at their Telegram and see. Oh, that's their website. I'm sorry. Okay, 1,300 members in Telegram. Let's join the group. Oh, I'm glad I got that right. That'd be
You'd have to
embarrassing.
get at math. Yeah.
You guys would have kicked me out of here if I got that wrong. For a split second, there was a little bit of pressure. Okay. Okay, so here's right now, or I guess so the last message was okay, maybe 2 hours ago. Okay, so there's not a ton of activity, but it looks like real people. Is this is Napstar? Is that who you're communicating with?
No, it was, let's see, was it Mr. Cryptomaniac? No, hang on a second. Let me open my TG real quick. I can look to
Okay.
see. It was, yeah, Mr. Cryptomaniac. Yeah, no
Okay,
marketing
perfect.
proposals. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I really enjoy whenever they oh, here we go. So here's a recorded AMA. That's great. I really like it when perfect. I really like it when they do audio AMA and they record it and then share it with the community because like it just helps them. It helps them build their case. Today on the marketing call, Robin talked about I forget the exact term she used, but reusing content. And so an AMA is a piece of content, okay? But if it's not recorded, that means that like you and I, everyone on the call, we can't go listen to that. And so they already did the work. And so it doesn't hurt anything to just go ahead and record it and upload it, because now we can actually listen to this. We can listen to it sped up, so we can jump through certain parts or whatever. But it gives them material. So it just makes me feel like, okay, great, they actually did AMAs. They're on voice. The next step for me with that would be like if they're doing video AMAs, that's just like knocking it out of the park. If they want to show who they are. Okay, so great that they have AMAs. So let's go back to the website and look at see if we can find anything about the team. Do you recall if they also, I like it whenever they share an audit.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying that they're audited. Socials contact us. Okay, so first off, I don't see anything about the team, and sometimes they have that information on the white paper.
It was kind of, they had a one of those little surveys yesterday. What was the most important thing before the launch? And there was like 6 different things, and I clicked on doxing the filmmaker, whoever it was going to be, and that was 43% of everybody. That's what they wanted beforehand.
Yeah, well, that's also. Did they have a response to that?
It just showed you how, it showed you what once you clicked on it, it showed you what it was. Who voted for what. So
yeah,
I haven't seen a response on it yet. I haven't been on the TG yet today. So yeah,
that's cool though to see that the community is really interested in knowing who and what. Oh yeah, Andre, thank you for saying that. The word I was thinking for was repurposing content. So record an AMA and people hear it live, and then upload the recording and people can watch it again. And same thing with if they wanted to. It depends on where their market is at. But like with this being sci-fi, and that's a whole specific niche in and of itself. And potentially YouTube content around their vision for making their 3 movies and the streaming and all that. There could be a really close group niche people on YouTube that would love that type of content. And that would be an example again of repurposing the content. So taking the same stuff and spreading across multiple platforms. Now, one of the things I find interesting here is, so when I click over, here's the site, and this makes me feel a certain way. Okay, it's like, okay, this is okay. When I clicked web white paper, I like this version of their website better. This is just personally. I don't know. I like the color schemes better. The interesting thing though is like I still don't see a white paper. This just looks like this just looks like all the information that was on the home is now on this side. So I'd be curious. I'd be curious to get, see if they have a white paper and what the response is about that. And to your point, when they send out a survey asking people what they wanted to know most or what was most important, you said 40% or 40 people they wanted.
43%. Yeah,
43% they wanted to know, who's behind the camera. I think that's great that they're asking the community that. So let's look at a little bit about the film. So one of the things I said on Monday. Okay, I may get to go home and then check film. Okay, yeah. So this is not a deal breaker, but I look for consistency. So like when I go over here and then I click film, nothing happens. And I don't know if something's just going on with this is supposed to be a white paper, this is supposed to be something different. But for me, I'm really picky about that stuff because I feel like if a website doesn't function like it's supposed to, will the contract or will, the marketing or will whatever they're supposed to be doing, will that work? And truth be told, that may be insignificant. If I'm being totally transparent, that may not even matter. But for me personally, I want to make sure that what they're saying is congruent and it lines up. So when I click on different things on the website and it doesn't actually work like like it's supposed to, that's something that I just make a note of. It's not a deal breaker. It's not like a red flag that would stop me from investing, but it's like, if we go back to the idea of the scale, it may be just one little item on the scale that says, hey, take a look at this or consider this. So I'm gonna check this out real quick. Now, something to think about, this is their pinned tweet, okay? So they could be doing some running ads to it. They could be getting in front of a lot of people because it does have 568 comments and 221 retweets and 450 likes. So it's not necessarily organic, because when you look at their next post that was posted, yesterday, it just has 1 retweet and 3 likes. And again, it may not be a deal breaker, but what I'm looking for is, is their community active even on Twitter? And it just looks like they have a small community right now. And next thing I do is I'll scroll all the way to the bottom if I can. Sometimes Twitter doesn't let me when I'm not logged in. But I just want to see like when their Twitter was created, to see if, was this something that was always in the works and they've been working on this for years? Aaron, do you know at the top of your head how long they've been working on the project?
No, that and size of the community was kind of my red flag that I was going to go back in and add to that. If I was going to kind of watch it grow over the next couple of days, see where it was at. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's the great thing about, following up and just checking it out and seeing what kind of growth they have. So the earliest tweet is from January 10th. So we're talking about like 6 weeks-ish. And so, yeah, sometimes I guess what comes up for me there is, we don't know when this idea came to them. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know when the idea came to them, but we also don't know when they started taking it seriously. So like, even though their Twitter's only been up for 6 weeks, it doesn't mean that this has not been in the back of their head for years, or even they've been working on it for a year. They just didn't actually do something about it. But that's something that I would be curious about. You know, how long have they been working on this project? Because that kind of gives an idea of like, you know, how serious are they about this versus if they threw a Twitter together 6 weeks ago and Telegram was 6 weeks ago, they haven't been doxxed. We can't find any information about them. We don't have an official white paper. You know, this could just be someone who is a good storyteller right now, because we just don't know. So, and again, this doesn't mean that it is or isn't a good project. We just don't know. We get to, there's a lot of reading between the lines or assumptions that get to be made right now. So the biggest questions I would have would be like, when did they come up with this idea? How long have they been working on it? And then, you know, the questions of like, who actually are they? What is their background? So a filmmaker, I mean, I guess it does say, you know, we'll dock shortly, but when we'll dock shortly, what was the private sale is today. So
yeah, and you know what, that one I couldn't find a way to go back on the calendar when you put that on there, because I think it said that the private sale had, I think there may have been the one that already ran, but when you click on that, it does say coming soon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, and I just say that to say that, you know, they haven't doxed yet. And I've noticed that some projects, they just say, hey, coming soon, for answers that haven't been, for questions that don't have an answer yet. They just will say, you know, TBA or coming soon. And that's fine if it actually is. But at what point are they, you know, are they actually going to say, hey, this is the filmmaker, these are the projects he's created? Because like, I think from a marketing perspective, if this is a filmmaker who's done some pretty cool stuff, you know, he already has a resume. And like me, I would see that as social proof. Like, oh, this is not just someone in their mom's basement. This is someone who's actually done some videos, and you know, maybe they're on YouTube and maybe they have, you know, 5,000 views, or maybe they have 100,000 or 500,000 views. And it's like, okay, great, he's actually done something. And so those are some things that I look at as well, as far as for this particular project. I think that would be something that is really easy to do. So I'd be curious to see, you know, how that goes down when they talk about the team and stuff.
Yeah, I'll watch it close, kind of update things as we go here. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
appreciate that. Helped a lot, though. I appreciate it
for sure. Yeah, thanks for bringing it up, and thanks for scouting it. Like I said, this is what the community is all about: collaboration and you know, sharing different ideas and perspectives. And just so you guys know, like, I think we're all going to view these things differently. I think that there's a handful of things that actually determine a project's success, and other things are just personal subjectivity of, well, I like the way this website looks versus that one, you know. At the core, there are core concrete things that are super important, and there's other things that are just trivial that don't actually matter to the success of the project. I mean, take Moonforce, for example. Moonforce, stellar team, stellar marketing, stellar website, and you know, it hasn't taken off yet. You know, I guess you could say we're still bored in the rocket ship. You know, some people are still bored in the rocket ship. So, you know, it is what it is. If we could tell what projects are going to rock and what projects are not, like, we'd be billionaires or more. And therein lies the fun of the game, and creating a process and money management and system that works for you. So we got about 6 minutes left. Does anybody else have any questions? I see Laura, she asked about Pulse X. I can take a look at it. Andre, hey, thanks for being here. Have a great day. And hey, Vijay, hey, thank you for the comment. And yeah, Laura, I will take a look at Pulse X. Let me read this again. Okay, let me take a look at Pulse X on the calendar. Pulse X. Okay, pre-sale was on the 27th. Huh. Okay. Let's take a look at the Telegram. Oh, thanks, Evan. I appreciate it, brother. Okay, PulseX. Wow, 48,000 members. Okay, let me go back to the calendar real quick to see. Okay, this has not been launched yet. So let me see. Okay, so one of the great things about Telegram is it works like Google, where so up here there's a magnifying glass. So you click on it, you can type in whatever search phrase you're looking for. So you can type in contract, you can type in chart, you can type in price, tax, and even if there's a bot or not, if other people are asking, it's going to pull up that question, as you can see. So just based on this, let me see the date. So today at 3 o'clock, so like, an hour ago, someone responded to their question, do we know the launch date? And they said unknown, no official date announced, maybe March or April, maybe later. So that's, let me see. Laura, is that what you were curious about? And does that answer your question? If you're still here, Laura. Yes, but it was on your calendar. Laura, I don't exactly understand the question. Yes, so sometimes I guess maybe you're at, and correct me if I'm wrong, Laura, please. Maybe you're asking, is it actually going to launch on the 25th? Because it's on the date for the 25th. I've noticed there's a handful of projects that they just keep pushing the launch back for a variety of reasons. I know a handful of projects that I've looked into and I've vetted, they've pushed their projects back. Some of them literally have been saying, hey, I'm going to launch next week, and it's been 2 months. And it's not really good for investor confidence, but I guess they have their reasons. But yeah, yes. Like I said, I've found that I had 5 projects that had originally were planning on launching in December. One of them launched in January. The other 4 are still pushing back. So it's yeah, there's a lot of projects that are being pushed back for whatever reason, and maybe they just feel like the market's down and they don't think it's a good idea. But then there's other projects who launch and they do just fine. I think really personally, I think if a project and team does a really good job at creating community and tribalism within their community, I don't think that the market conditions are relevant to a successful launch. I think if the team does a great job at creating a tribe, like a real tribe that believes in the project, and it's not there just to get a 2x or more, but they believe in it and they want to be a part of it, I think that it doesn't matter what price, what the market be doing. I think people will jump on board, and because they want to be a part of that community and part of that tribe. That's what I've seen. Games do a really good job at creating tribalism and community. But I've also looked at a lot of games, and so it's likely that other projects could do the same. I personally don't have the experience in looking at all of those projects. So we are 1 minute away from the top of the hour, and I just want to thank you guys for being here today, and thank you guys for contributing and asking questions. I enjoy this process. Enjoy spending some time with you guys. And before we head off, I just want to end like my mentor always told me. He always said, life can be short. So for those that you care and love, let them know that you care and love them. And I appreciate you guys. I'm so glad and thankful that we are a community working together to find these, the next 2x, 5x, 10x and beyond. And the world is going to see what we're up to. So thankful for you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for spending your afternoon with me. And we will see you next time. Hop on tomorrow, same time. John is going to be on here. He's going to crush it. So that's it for now. Bye for now.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. You guys have a good day. Okay.
You too.
Bye for now.
Thanks, guys.